I don't think we've actually come up with a proper name, but to the Discord discussions with the TSK. We're back at you with episode 2. Yeah, like that quick, boy. Episode 1 launched off. Thanks to y'all listening and checking it out. I appreciate yous. So we're back with the biggest topic there is in pro wrestling right now. And no, it's not Dynamite. It's Wrestle Kingdom 17. A lot went down, and I do mean a lot. There was some debuts. There was some championship changes. Some that are literally pissing off every single fucking mark on the internet. And, of course, there is the old-fashioned, oh, my God, when is Okada going to lose? And my answer to that is fucking never. Is fucking never. But before we get diving super deep into this, I must introduce there was the 4 pods. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a weird name in time. But this is the TSK, my man Pretty Kyle, right directly to me with the Support Indie shirt. Big Rob with the big headphones on. My man Harold Joseph Hunter with the Batman, love the Batman shirt. And of course, DC, you recognize him from his time on Max Wrestling. Welcome in, boys. Ooh, Britt Baker. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we've all heard of every good thing. I want to say every good thing. Of all the good news, I'm going to call it good news. Fuck all the haters. We're going to stay positive on this show. All the good news that happened over this morning. So there was the debut, this is the biggest one, and we're going to get it right off the bat. There was the debut of the former Sasha Banks, now known Mercedes Mońe, coming out with some blue cheetah hair.
I think it was fire.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fire. But
Yeah.
You could have fooled me.
Fire. I got it.
I got it.
Again, y'all could have fooled me. So, trust me, I got a lot to say. Who wants to take the first? Who wants to take the first bite?
I'll
do it.
Let me hear DC.
Hey, Dave.
Cool for her. Good for her, honestly. I'm gonna be the fickle fan here. It's just a matter of time before the fans turn on her again. It's gonna happen because we're fickle. It's what we are.
No lies. No lies.
I think Rob, maybe as you or Harold, was one of you, said that the reaction would have been better had it been stateside.
Yeah. I mean, the Japanese crowds are a little bit different than the American crowds, and that was pretty evident last night because I'm sure the Japanese crowds knew exactly who she was, but
and they haven't been allowed to make noise.
This was the first time.
In quite some time.
A little. Her theme music was a little. The
presentation looked good. I mean, how she walked out and what she walked out in. I mean, it looked really cool.
Right.
But as
theme music needs work though.
Absolutely, but as Robin said, Japan is a different breed. This is not the normal. Oh hey, look at the face. Hey.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna be like, oh, that's such and such. What are you gonna do? And
much more reserved.
And unfortunately, at least in my mind, that's where it went just absolutely south. She cut the promo in English, which we already knew was going to be an issue.
I mean, that was a full-on American WWE style promo, and that
falls on deaf ears in Japan.
Yeah.
And your only way to recover in Japan is to hit moves. And I don't know what she was trying to do.
What was that move supposed to be?
Is a gory bomb into the DDT? I don't know.
Yeah. Gory special spin out to a DDT.
Call it whatever you will. Lackluster hit. She poses with the IWGP Women's Championship. She's got dates in Stardom. She's going to be hanging out in Japan. As we heard from Dynamite tonight, or I think they dropped it on Dynamite if I heard correctly, she's signed with AEW.
They didn't.
They didn't drop it. Okay, so that's the rumor then. Pardon me. Let me stop myself.
Not one mention.
So there's the rumor going around.
Raj.
Raj Giri.
Yeah.
He said that he signed a contract. I will say this,
I think Zero News reported it also.
Okay.
If he has signed with AEW, cool. Mm-hmm. Cool. But see, here's the problem. If it ends up being anybody other than her,
There's your problem.
And that's the problem, is that they hype so many names up so that if it's anybody else, even if it's somebody that is better than her in the ring, it's going to be looked at as a letdown.
Oh, 1,000%.
Well, they just announced that Tony Storm was going to be the partner, but that'll work.
Yeah.
I mean,
my guess is Sheeta is going to attack Storm as a jealousy kind of thing, and then
that'll start probably another feud between those two.
Even when Britt was talking, she said, she's the boss. Like, people are already looking at that like, oh, Sasha's coming or Mercedes is coming.
Yeah.
Britt said the boss.
Yeah, you dropping the lines. What is it? You're dropping the hot takes, if you will. You're picking up the clues.
The clues.
That, man.
But I mean, it's I'm on the fence. My whole thing is I'm over the names going to Japan. I'm over it. You're not going to get recognition from me. I'm sorry. You want to get recognition from me in Japan? Go out there and match them on the work rate. Go be. I think I said the same thing with Fred Rosher. I said, you know what, dude? Go out there and prove yourself. And he's beyond proved himself. Now, granted, it is New Japan strong, but he's adapted his style, proven his worth. There's other guys that have gone on to Japan. Like, look at how Switchblade started. Jay White. Oh my God, he's just this little kid. Now he was the undeniable. How could Okada beat him? How could this and that? And if she turns out to be that, which I'm hoping she does, okay, cool. But I'm plenty reserved until then.
I think it's going to be a test for her. I mean, we know what she can do with people like Bayley, with Becky Lynch, with Charlotte. We all know that because we've seen it umpteen times.
Yeah.
The test is going to be what happens when she's in like New Japan or wherever, where it's not overproduced like a WWE match.
There you go.
I think it's like, if you remember a couple of years ago, there was that promo with Triple H and Rollins where Triple H said, "Are you going to become the diamond that we know you can be, or are you going to crumble into dust?" And I think this is going to be that test for her. It's going to be, is she really as good as we think and we know she is? Or is she going to be, another person that, is great in the WWE, but just sort of elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's such a clash of styles, too, between the WWE style and, the Japanese style. The Japanese style is a lot more hard-hitting.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys know, as most of the people who listen to this know, hopefully know. These girls
way less choreography.
They're way less choreography. These girls in Stardom, they're going to hit you. They're going to hit you hard.
That's what they're trained to do.
Well, she'll for sure at least have the cardio, I think, to keep up. Yeah. So that's definitely something going in her favor. She's still very young. She hasn't had a lot of injuries. So I don't think she's going to have an issue keeping up work rate wise when it comes to that. But yeah, without leaning on overproduction, without leaning on choreography, I don't know if she can hang.
Yeah. I mean, it seems that a lot of the IWC is already kind of a 50-50 going sour on her already. And maybe it's just the E-Jones that are, pissed that she's not there anymore.
That's exactly what it is.
More than likely, that's what it is. But, it's like a 50-50 split. People are happy for her. And, I think the good majority of wrestling fans are happy for her. But, there's that other, 50% or whatever that's already just like calling her, Botch Monet or, whatever, Mercedes Botch or whatever the hell they were calling her.
Mm-hmm. I literally already seen one comment on Facebook that has hit the nail on the head of how I feel. The majority, I mean, you guys are saying 50-50. I'm feeling the majority of the IWC because most of them are extremely biased, if you will. And it was simply good luck trying to go back to back to WWE after this. Do you guys not like again, do they? I don't understand the process. It's they want to make fun of AEW for taking talent from WWE when if you look at WWE, they've taken nothing but talent from Impact. But people shit on Impact.
Also, Mo, if you think how many people over the years have left WWE under less than desirable terms? Ultimate Warrior had left how many freaking times?
Mm-hmm.
Jim Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Bret freaking Hart. Montreal, anybody?
There's a lot of...
How many of these people have come back? Hulk Hogan. Fired numerous times. Came back. Jumped ship to WCW. Damn near put WWE on its ass with the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
He came back. Case in point. This is not the Vince McMahon WWE anymore.
No.
This is the Paul Levesque era. And if he could, and let's say, for example, whatever Sasha or Mercedes Mońe, whatever you want to call it, whatever her contract is with wherever, say it's a year, say it's 2 years. Let's say at some point she decides, you know what? I've got unfinished business in WWE. See if there's interest. I guarantee you, if Triple H thinks that he can make money there, he's going to do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a money guy. If he can make money with somebody, he's going to bring them back in.
Absolutely.
People got to realize, it's not your feelings that matter here. It's business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially if she goes like on a Matt Cardona tear.
Oh, yeah.
She just totally like reinvents what she's doing and just goes on this unbelievable run. Triple H, I don't think would have no second thoughts of bringing in Mercedes Mońe and not Sasha Banks.
I mean, look at, like you mentioned, Cardona. I guarantee you, within a year, he will be back there.
Could be in the Rumble.
Probably within the next 6
I'll give you
months.
30 days.
Yeah,
I'm with Kyle. Could be in the Rumble.
Wouldn't be surprised if he was in the Rumble.
All right, Kyle. Before right after you take that swig, are you got any feelings on Mońe in Japan after, I guess, seeing just how tough that thing is? By the way, are we not going to bag on him for giving him only 6 minutes? Like that was kind of I don't know. It was great 6 minute match, but come on, 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they still have a lot of catching up to do. But
it's expected to get that short of time when you've never had realistically had women's matches, at least regularly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not since '94.
So it's kind of expected. They're not just gonna go out and give them a 30-minute match. I mean, I'm a very big fan of. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hmm? Okay. I'm a very big fan of Sasha, so I'm very interested to kind of see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be interesting. She's a very good talent, and she can adapt to everything. I mean, it's just adapting to different styles is like adapting to the wrestling. Charlotte to Asuka to like a Shayna Baszler or something like that. Like it's similar. It's just going to take time, and it's a lot more than just one match. It's every week you're just going to get your ass kicked. She's never been in there. She's going to have to relearn how.
Strong style is not soft style in no way.
Yeah. No, it's my favorite style. It's aggressive. It's in your face. It's amazing.
It's believable.
But it's hard.
That's my term right there.
Very hard to do. Not everybody can do it. That's why not everyone goes to Japan. And when they do, they realize like can't handle it.
It is crazy. All right, so I mean, we could go through the entire card, but there was a lot to take in as it was. So I got to tack on the next one. I would go for the junior tag match. Truth be told, the best thing about it, and I'm not saying it like this because I am a Leo fan. I'm a Leo Rush fan, but he worked half the match with a busted face. So other than that, I mean.
Did you see the picture he posted of his face?
Yeah, I didn't catch the match, but holy crap, I kind of want to see what caused that. I love Leo Rush too. I think he's really good at what he does, and I think Japan is the perfect spot for him to kind of do what he can do and kind of reinvent himself.
Him and Yo are a good team.
Holy smokes!
He caught an X Factor on the stage.
It kind of
was that what it was?
Yeah.
X Factor on the stage.
If y'all remember a couple years ago, it kind of reminded me of that ladder match spot with Joey Mercury.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when the ladder caught him right in the face and it just busted him all to hell?
Busted him.
It reminded me kind of that, where like just his face is just
fuck.
Exactly. Yeah, it was. It's again. It's one worth seeing, but for this instance in time restraints, we're gonna pass on it. I do want to focus on FTR against Bishamon, which was Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, and I literally, I literally, I remember saying on Max, like, dude, we're talking about Goto, and we're talking about Yoshihashi. Like, you're really gonna tell me they're gonna beat FTR? And you know what they did? They beat FTR.
As hell did.
I know Yoshihashi is kind of like the butt of jokes.
He is. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's been in New Japan forever.
He is. He's a former heavyweight champ.
Exactly. A lot of people don't even know that. I think I might be. I mean, them as a tag team. I mean, it works. They had a pretty good showing at Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door. Yeah. Great match at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, I think it works for him. I mean, it sucks that FTR's, dropping belts left and right, but
they're going back to
the E.
FTR is going back to the E for sure.
I hope not, but that's probably another episode for another time.
I mean, yeah, that's true. We kind of touched on it just a tad in the last one. You know what I mean? They were basically the catalyst for the entire topic that was last week of Punk and the Elite can work.
Probably devoted an entire episode to FTR.
Oh, for sure.
Just on what they've done alone last year.
For sure.
I will say, with them, what they did, it's the same thing that Cardona has done and all the good ones have done. They were discarded by the E, by Vince, as being fucking worthless.
Useless.
They went out, they thought, you know what? I'm going to show you what we can do. And FTR, the Revival, whatever you want to call them, they proved that they are the best damn tag team in any company.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Briscoes. It's not the Usos. It's not, the Acclaimed. They cannot hold a candle to FTR.
I really do hope FTR does get some more dates in Japan, like I was telling you last night, Mo, when we were watching.
Yeah.
They just FTR in Japan just hits. It hits different. It was like really reminiscent of watching like old Steiner Brothers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It felt like watching the Steiners. Like, oh well, yeah, obviously these guys are hardcore American, but now we're fucking so invested, it's ridiculous. And by the way, we're mixing up Yoshihashi with Kojima.
Was that who it is?
Yeah, Kojima is the one that got he's a one-time heavyweight champ. But anyway, I mean, it was.
I think Goto, wasn't he heavyweight champion?
I want to say he was in the running. I'm not 1,000 on the Goto.
Former heavyweight champion. I could be wrong, but
I don't think so.
It's something worth checking out. But I mean, FTR, and I don't want to say I hate saying it. As you guys, as Hale is saying, are they heading back to the E? I don't know. I want to say no. I really do want to say no. I want to say that they're in it for the pro wrestling factor. I was hearing rumors that they want to hit the indie scene and they want to kind of just go back to their roots a little bit.
I can see that.
Maybe even hit to like NWA. Yeah, I mean, yeah, fuck.
But they can do that.
The thing of the NWA, and it pains me to say it, the NWA was getting really, really good for a bit and backslid.
Completely.
They had all this, momentum that, Cardona, as champion was incredible. He was on an incredible run. And it seems like once he got hurt,
kaput.
So, do I think NWA is a viable option as much as I would love to see them, get those belts too? No.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening now.
And wherever they decide to go, whether they want to do singles or whatever, as long as they are happy, you know what? I just would like to see them be happy because you know what? They have proven no one can touch them.
No, but you see, that's the difference between like fans like us and the rest of those fickle fans. Oh, why would you do this? And why would you, dude? If that's what they end up wanting to do, let them go get paid. I guess I have to start watching Mondays. It is what it is.
Yeah,
we can't.
I think they did what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, I think they're going to have some indie showings, just like you said, to wrap up that kind of feeling. I think they're going to go back to the E. I think they want to win both tag titles again, and I think they want a Hall of Fame spot at the end of the day. And that's a great way to end your career. Who can blame them?
No.
What we're going to see, if y'all remember a couple of years ago with the Hardy Boys, remember that massive pop when it was
WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
Coming back?
Hey, I was one of them.
Coming back.
Yeah, that was great.
I think what you're going to see, and if I'm booking this out, Kyle, I know you booked a couple AEW shows last episode. If I'm booking this, I got the Usos in the middle of the ring, and they talk about how so long nobody has beaten them, nobody on the planet can touch them, and they, you have one of them say, if there is a team in the back that wants it, that thinks that they can take them, come on out. And you hear the revival theme. It's got to be that theme.
No.
None others.
I think it's going to go FTR.
And you have them come out. Not get physical, because you know what? You don't give this away for free.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't do it on TV.
That's looking a whole nother show, DC.
That's
you
right.
You have them just look. You just have them stare daggers at the Usos, and then up at the belts. And then, depending on when they come back, because we like to stare and point at the Mania sign. It's that season. You get a point to the sign.
Yep.
I don't like the return on a regular show because that's too big a name. That's like Cody. Can you imagine if Cody just came out on Raw? It was so much more special on Raw. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a WrestleMania moment because you could do the exact same thing to the T as the Hardys. You could go Usos versus whoever, and then Triple H comes out and goes, we're actually going to make this a triple threat. And then FTR's music hits, and boom, FTR wins undisputed tag title.
Again,
it makes them, what are they, 6-star, 7-star, 8-star? What are they at right now?
7-star FTR.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, that'll be that.
I mean, granted, like I'm sure we're all one that would prefer the FTR over the Revival, but then again, that's how the E works. You go back, you have to revert, and it is what it is.
I don't think so because Triple H has already said he's not interested in Zack Ryder, but he's interested in Matt Cardona.
Okay, well,
if
that's
John
different,
were to go
though.
back, he wouldn't be known as Dean Ambrose. I guarantee he'd go back as Moxley.
You know what? You might be right. I just, I get bad WCW vibes from that. Like, no, let me stop myself. Bad, like, Attitude Era vibes from that. A whole lot of weirdness where it was like 1 week you would see a guy on the E, and then the next week he'd show up in WCW or vice versa, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? I feel it's, yeah. I don't want to say it would not blur that line because that's obviously like a line that's, kind of meant to happen in a way, but I don't know. I mean, again, I would love FTR to go back. I would love it to be that, but I'm also being realistic. Where the fuck did Rob go?
As a fan, let me just say this, and y'all have heard me say this time and time again, what an amazing time it is to be a wrestling fan again.
I heard that.
Absolutely.
Like, wondering, like, where are they going to go? Are they going to go here? Are they going to go there? Like, this reminds me of when I was a kid, and you wondered, like, where was this person gonna go? And it is incredible, and it's great for the talent because it's not like they get cut from the E or wherever, and they think, God, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah, they can go. They have options. Ways to get paid.
I've been kind of watching a lot lately,
And Rob's back.
Lot of.
Sorry, boys, the lights went out. I thought House of Black was in my house.
Oh no.
Or maybe it was Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, it could be.
I've been noticing a lot that WWE has been getting the jump ship method, AEW to WWE, but it's not the other way around anymore.
Well, no, because Uncle Paul.
The only reason AEW is getting them is because they're letting them go. They're no longer like filling tracks and going AEW now. Brian was realistically the last one. He was the last one that goes, don't. Maybe Jeff Hardy too, but you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But Brian being the only one going, I think I want to wrestle somewhere else. Sasha doing the same thing now too. Sasha, I mean, that was more or less like WWE not accepting her terms because she was willing to go back.
Give me the money.
Said shit tons of money thrown at him and he just turned it down. Sasha just wanted money, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But you're not seeing the other way around anymore, which is bad. Not a good thing. You know what I mean? You're just seeing releases and people going, well, shit, I guess I'll go to AEW. But no one's like, ooh, grass might be greener. Everyone knows it's kind of not greener at this point.
I don't want to say necessarily it's not
the same.
It's not greener. It's now you're looking at it as, well, my grass is fine. Now my grass doesn't have a noisy neighbor who lets their dog shit all over the place and expects me to clean it up. That's what it is. I'm no longer in this toxic environment. So now why do I need to leave? I'm getting paid probably a little bit more. I work less dates.
Whole other subject, boys.
You're not wrong.
Really good comparison, actually, to Vince.
And we got to keep it rocking, though. He's absolutely right. So but again, to tie in, if you will, from the E working with people or an E guys working elsewhere, Carl Anderson drops the never open weight championship to Tama Tonga.
Great segue, Mo.
Come on, bro. I'm seasoned professional. Seasoned professional here. Come on, boys. That's right. Throw it up one time. Seasoned pro. This is what Max does to you. Look, I'm not going to shit on this match, but I paid way more attention to Tama's jumpsuit than I did anything in this fucking match. I'm going to be super honest with you. But it needed to happen. They don't have bad blood. They even gave a little hug ski, shared a beer at the press conference.
Tama looked great.
Why can't we do this? Oh, because he did they did a bodybuilding contest. Motherfucker won it.
Yeah,
and that's what I like. I've got the same reaction as Rob. Like, are you Tama Tonga, the guy that he always had a little vest on?
When I heard that, I was like, what?
And yeah, he pulled that one. He beat out, and I was like, he beat out dudes like Ishimori. I was like, that's a lie. I don't understand how you did that one, but hey, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
I mean, off that topic, did you see Doki without a shirt?
What happened to him?
My God,
Jesus.
He puts Ishimori to shame. I don't know if you heard Kevin Kelly. He was saying, why in the hell is Doki wearing a shirt? Like, you got the guts, kid. Come on.
Kevin Kelly out here telling everybody secrets.
I mean,
Kevin Kelly.
Y'all know, Mo, Rob, Harold. Y'all been in RWT for a long, long time. How long have I been singing the praises of Tama Tonga?
Oh, for a hot minute.
Wow.
And now people are finally seeing what I've been seeing for years. The guy's money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make this prediction right now. Triple H and the E, they didn't have to let this happen.
No.
They could have just said, here's your belt back, do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he didn't do this for any just out of the goodness of his heart. He's getting something out of this.
Oh, for sure.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what? I am curious to see what it's going to be.
Kind of going back to your point, Mo. I don't think the match was that bad either. It's just that gun stun at the end. That was just like...
Yeah, like I said, I in the chat am extremely blunt and right at the point. And I was just like, okay, well, yeah, fucking Uncle Paul said, yeah, you can beat my guy, but he's not going to take your finisher.
He's not going to take your finisher. And he didn't.
And he didn't take the finisher. He did not in any way take the finish. So, but again, to keep
could have been worse. Could have been worse.
It absolutely could have been. And you want to jump in on any of this, Kyle? Any thoughts on this Tama Tonga love? Do you understand Tama Tonga? Do you know he had a run in the Ying at one point?
Yeah. No, I mean, he's great. I think the match. I told you guys I haven't watched the whole pay-per-view yet. The match needed to happen because the title needed dropped.
Yeah.
Actually. So, yeah, we knew why it was happening. But yeah, absolutely. Tama Tonga was great.
And I mean, hopefully this puts the rest to, WWE is going to be working with New Japan. Oh, Forbidden Door, blah, blah, blah. Shut up.
I mean,
they have too good of a relationship with AEW in order to do that. You know what I mean? They're not going to shit on that for the WWE to come in and use them for, a year or two or whatever. It's not going to be forever.
I was just going to
say. Don't play with others.
Yeah.
95%.
Play with them for a short period.
95% of WWE fans have no idea who Okada is.
And they hate Kenny.
I think you're being generous. I think it's more like 99.5.
That's a hard number. I would say 95.
No, I'm 1,000% with Rob. 95% of WWE fans have no idea who Kazuchika Okada is.
Y'all being too generous. It's more like 99.9.
If Naito shows up to Royal Rumble, they're who's this guy? The usual.
But how would you?
I mean,
This is my bias kicking in, by the way.
Absolutely.
There were people who didn't know who AJ Styles was when he debuted.
What DC said.
How?
What DC? How? Because people don't. There are, and I'm gonna say it like this: there are e-drones that literally only watch that show. They will put it on a Monday out of habit, whether they're actually paying attention to it or not, and they are loyal to that show. Because of that, Impact is inferior. New Japan is inferior. AEW, NWA, your local indie, inferior. Oh, you wrestle on the side? Bullshit. You're not fucking AJ Styles. That's their unfortunate narrative, dude. It's the sad reality. But they can't spin that narrative on the fucking junior championship match, which, by the way, I went from hating Master Wato to begging for this motherfucker to win. Oh my God, was I begging for him to win.
Wow. How good did he look?
He looked. I've never seen
a man.
He looked like a man. Exactly. He looked like a motherfucking man. Master Wato from his debut has been like the $2 steak that you buy that like just because you really want a steak real bad. So you're like, I guess I'll get a steak.
He's in there with Desperado.
It was Desperado, Hiromu Takahashi, and of course Taiji Ishimori with the tall abs.
He's not in there with freaking young lions. He's in there with established juniors,
and he's keeping up, if not looking a little bit more impressive at times. And it's mind blowing. And it got to the point where, I mean, I don't know how many people were truly riding his momentum, but if you were in that crowd, they were so behind him. It's not even. He was probably one of the most guys that they got behind the whole night long. And when Takahashi won, like the air kind of got let out of the room. They were like, "Oh well."
Like the last couple of sequences, I actually had to sit up out of bed and watch that. I was just like, "Oh, he's gonna do it."
They were going for it. That's right. Yeah, Hiromu ends up hitting the time bomb too, and I'm just like, no. But it is what it is. But still, great showing. I guess was Kushida should be coming back. He's working strong, right?
Yeah, he's got Gresham coming up.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
Technical masterpieces.
But Kushida actually, he moved from Florida to LA. That way, when he goes to Japan, he's a little bit closer.
There we go.
Makes sense.
I imagine he'll be working some strong while he goes back and forth over there.
Please. Kyle, who's your favorite junior? Tell me the truth.
Match?
Who? You have to tell me
saying out of that match?
Yeah, fuck it.
Desperado.
Okay, people on the Desperado train. I like it. Went from a guy that everybody ignored to a guy who is. You got to pay attention now.
Hey man, but he's had a good last couple of years. Remember when he fought Ibushi?
Yeah. That's exactly what put him on the map. The match against him and Ibushi, and you were like, "Oh, wait a minute!" You had to pay attention. Now, granted, the first couple of months you still got him confused, Bushi and El Dorado, but and El Desperado. But it was you. He eventually made you know when he, and I want to say it was when he beat Ishimori, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, you did what?
You did what?"
So
I would say I started paying attention in the last couple of years too. Probably within the last 2.5 3 years, something like that. He's been doing really hot.
He has been. He has been absolutely on fire. Oh, gosh. Okay, so to speak of the on fire, because this is literally what has taken the social medias by storm, and I mean all of them. I'm talking TikTok, Facebook, your mom's YouTube, everything in between.
We're going to go to that one. We're going to do that now?
We got to do that right now. I mean, I would save it for the end, but the reality is I think we've kept people... I think we've let people like just sizzle just long enough. Now they want the heat. They want the good meat, if you will.
Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them
Bring
out.
it in.
Will Ospreay against Kenny Omega. I've said in the chat it was at least a 6-star match. I will gladly fight Uncle Dave for it. No problem. Fucking New Japan does this every single fucking year for the last 5 years straight. They've put on a match of the year candidate, if not the match of the year, 4 days into the year. 4 days into the year. You can't give me a week.
Started off right.
Like, Gato, you can't give me a week, boy. Come on.
Wasn't it last year? It was
the great thing it is.
Yeah, that shit was.
And it's a wonderful challenge. Is that now they got to be thinking, shit, how am I going to follow this up?
I know
Kenny wrestle again. Easy.
I know Okada and Jim were kind of like, damn, dude, we got to follow that.
Yeah. It was a rough one.
Okada and Kenny again. You already know how that's going to turn out. It's going to be a banger. That's another, like, as good as Ospreay and Kenny was, like.
Oh no, it'll be another level.
Will forever be better because that match was just so insane.
It's the chemistry.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not shitting on Ospreay and Kenny because those are the 2 favorite wrestlers in the world.
Oh no,
It's always Kenny, and then it's always Ospreay. It's Kenny number 1, Ospreay number 2.
I think one of the coolest things, though, about this was the build-up to the match. Like, this has actually been building up since June, you know?
Yeah, it has been.
Absolutely.
Ever since Ospreay showed up in AEW. There's been this whole animosity thing between each other.
Supposed to get this at Forbidden Door?
I think so.
No.
I want to say no, because the reality is like that 4-way. I don't think we would have had a 4-way if Kenny was there.
Okay, so it was just like a rumored match.
Maybe.
Because I thought I remember reading something like it was supposed.
I mean, you could be right. I'm drawing a blank. Truth be told,
it might have been a rumor. There was talks of it.
Hey, we still got a banger match.
And maybe it got people talking.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, him and Cass.
What does Ospreay do now?
See, that's the thing. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Hill, because I wanted to, as we went ham and overly praised this match and how great we didn't even talk about the work rate or any of that stuff, but it was just great in itself, and it told a story within itself from all the way back from June, as Rob had mentioned. But then again, there is a percentage that is crapping all over this. There is a percentage that says the wrong guy won. One guy that I went to and I'm going to say I went to war on Twitter with, and I am going to go to war with him because I'm not done. This is stupid. He is claiming that New Japan is willing to bury their outside, bury one of their guys or one of their homegrown guys for an outside guy. And I immediately commented back with, what happened to Okada when that AJ Styles guy showed up from fucking TNA? He wasn't there hanging out. He wasn't playing around. He fucking showed up and he beat fucking Okada. Then he won the New Japan Cup, and that's how he won the belt. Like, come on. Thank you. Still, two matches.
This way. Let me put it. That would have been like, let's say, late 80s, not early 90s WWE with Hulk Hogan. Are you gonna bring in, like, if you had Hulk Hogan in his hottest streak, and NWA were able to pull him over to the NWA, and you were to book Hogan versus Flair for the NWA title, do you really think they wouldn't have put Hogan over? They would have had Hogan go over Flair, guaranteed. It's all about what makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And money.
you're going to get a rematch between Ospreay and Kenny. It's going to happen.
Has to.
And you know what? Honestly, Ospreay's probably going to win it again.
Mm-hmm.
But what this also does is it sets up for Ospreay and Okada. Ospreay does not need the United States title.
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't need it.
No,
You don't need a mid-card title. He needs a world title.
right, exactly.
Took the words right out of my
people.
mouth.
Think business.
And that's why Kenny had to win, because Kenny coming into New Japan is a top title contender for AEW. He is a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and he's still in the contendership somewhat just because of that status that he has.
Also,
if he went over to New Japan and lost to Ospreay, who is not even in their top program right now. I mean, not saying that he hasn't been, but
no,
he's
but you're
in
not
the
wrong.
North American title right now, which is not the top title.
Well, here, let me.
If Kenny loses that Kenny can't go back to AEW and then look like a world heavyweight contender still.
I'm gonna spin it like this. It's not so much a heavyweight contender. We need to remember who Kenny Omega is. We have to remember where Kenny Omega came from. I don't give a shit if you left and came back. If you made that big of an impact in Japan, guess what? That impact stays. Kenny Omega left a god in Japan. He returned a god in Japan. That's exactly why he took everything he took from Will and won. That's why this is the perfect way that it works. The only guy that can beat the ultimate Gaijin is the ultimate Japanese guy in Okada. That sounds racist as shit, but that's also, the truth. That's the story they're going to tell.
Let's not forget, Mo, who was the very first IWGP United States champion? Who was it?
Kenneth Jerome Omega.
Inside jokes. But yes, Kenny Omega.
Bingo.
Hashtag Jerome.
Low key, I kind of wish he would have came out to Devil Sky. I mean, what he came out to was all right, but
it was
man,
you know, Kenny, it was an homage to a video game.
Yeah,
which one? I can't fucking tell you.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either.
I can't do it.
I think it was.
Drop some knowledge on me, Kyle.
Final Fantasy, I think it was.
Probably
another one.
Actually, yeah. You know what?
Which one, Kyle?
Which one, Kyle?
I think it was Final Fantasy. I'm
24.
I'm not a Final Fantasy nerd. I'm not a game nerd.
Drop Final Fantasy real quick. What do you mean you're not? Oh Lord!
I never played Final. I played Final Fantasy like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped at Final Fantasy 7 myself, so I
don't feel bad.
Tell you. But the entrance looked cool when he did that thing with the wing and the wing showed. I was like, hey, that's cool as hell.
This was dope. So, I gotta ask this question before we hit to the main. Does Kenny defend this in the U.S.? And if he does, is it a real opponent at first, or is he just out there, Rocky 3 in it, just out there with some jobbers?
I'm waiting.
Whatever he damn well wants.
I'm waiting for Vikingo to come over and talk some mess to Kenny. But
why? So we can
have
Dynamite cut off halfway.
That's another another podcast for another time.
Jesus,
we're probably out of here pre-booking AAA right now.
Hey, AAA booked himself in the corner, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's probably another episode too. But I mean, Kenny defending the U.S. belt over here. I say let's do it.
Is Kenny showing up on Strong?
Why not? Why don't they? I don't understand that. We've talked about this in the inner circle. Why aren't we? Why isn't AEW working Strong better?
He's gonna try to boost Strong up by doing that. I guarantee you.
I mean,
that's a favor for everybody.
Let Kenny do whatever the hell he wants.
I mean, for us SoCal boys, where they film Strong, that ain't a long drive.
Nope.
So here's the idea: Ace Steel versus Kenny Omega.
People.
That's a 35-40 minute drive. I'm down to go see Kenny.
I'll say 2.5 in a night on Rob's couch. Let's make it happen.
I can see it.
Let's do it.
Fly out this bullshit.
But I mean, again,
I would see Kenny 7 days a week.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly the point at the end of the game. Is if we're willing to see Kenny, there's others like us, and then because of that, you will garner more and more and more attention. That's what happens when you're an attraction. Man, what a word and what a way to put it. But I mean, look what he did for Impact for that little bit of time. I don't give a shit if there wasn't necessarily a partnership or not. Motherfucker, ratings are ratings, baby, and they went up with Kenneth. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
They had their best ratings.
Yeah, they did have their best ratings.
I mean, there's name value behind Kenny Omega. Companies want to put their belts on him for a reason.
Facts.
If he'll do it for Impact, he'll do it for Strong.
Triple A said they don't put on anybody but Kenny.
Look how much money that the E threw at him to get him to come in, and he turned it down.
How much was it? I never heard the number.
It was ridiculous.
He was going to get paid near Lesnar. He would be like one of the top 3 paid guys.
He'd probably be a little bit under Brock money.
And Brock gets 2-2?
I think he's number 3 right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he makes. Are you sure?
Brock makes like $500,000 per Raw appearance, and then like $1 million a pay-per-view.
Yeah, his contract is structured. It's normally around like 2.2 to 2.4 million, and because of that, they structured your appearance.
What Roman's making, I forget now.
Let's not forget that they were going to give Kenny something that they never do. They were going to give him a 1 year out, where if after 1 year he wasn't happy, they were going to let him walk out the door.
Was it 6 months?
They got 6 months.
Who in that company has that deal?
Nobody on the planet does. Nobody will. But they wanted to do that to make sure that what they have right now wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. Because something was going to happen. You know what I mean? I could tell WWE knew something was happening. Obviously, it did. WWE's board.
Yeah.
No, they were gonna. I know for a fact they were gonna make more than $2 million because I think AJ makes like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
but you're adding in merch money. Like you're adding in merch money.
Is that merch money? I thought it was a salary base.
You're adding in merch money. Anyway, we'll keep it rocking.
Main event, boys.
Well, you're telling me. Speaking of main event, because I this is the main event for me every time this guy's on my screen, whether it's a fucking opener, whether he's got a balloon in hand.
What about Muda's last match in New Japan?
Oh, you want to talk about the old man? Let's talk about the old man real quick.
I love Muda.
With his 2 sons, Tanahashi and Shooter.
Lord Jesus. Doc Brown, please do not give Tanahashi a time machine and go get his younger self and partner right next to him, because that is exactly what Shota looked like. I was just like, huh? Give him the same pants, and I wouldn't have known the difference. Swear to God. Swear to God.
Whatsoever.
Swear to God.
Muda looked like he was having fun in that match.
You know what? Muda's been having fun the last couple months. Good for him. Good for him.
For sure.
You know what? Since this is the last ride of the Great Muda, I'm telling you, guys have probably one of the greatest careers.
Oh, thanks.
Probably one of the greatest Japanese stars of all time. And I'm making this little prediction. Y'all have heard me say it. I'm going to say it again. Great Muda, I would not be shocked to see him in a Royal Rumble appearance as a one-off. It's never happened before.
I would love it.
We got Jushin Thunder Liger had that one match in NXT with Tyler Breeze, which was a banger. If you
it was.
It.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you right now, WWE Hall of Fame 2023, the Great Muda.
Come on, give it to me.
You heard it here first.
Y'all heard me. How many predictions for Hall of Fame last year did I get right?
Quite a bit.
Almost all of them. Single one.
Who'd you miss?
And I'm making it again now.
DC books the Hall of Fame. You heard it here.
Hey, let's go with it. I like it. I mean, come on.
DC got Hall of Fame. I got weekly shows. What y'all got? Come on. Who's booking pay-per-views around here?
Let's go. Jeez Louise. We're just waiting for checks. Just waiting for checks. Make sure you make them out to the TSK so we can get everybody some equipment.
Hey.
Uncle Paul, let me book the Hall of Fame.
Let him book it, boy. Let him book it. But since we're bringing up Muda, is there anything left on his card? Was this it?
That was it.
One last match with Sting.
I mean, I'm with you 1,000,000,000%, but I mean, as far as I know, it's not booked. But somebody needs to book it. TK, I don't know what the fuck you fucking doing.
Well, he's got a trios match. Muda's, Sting, and Darby coming
There
up.
you go. That's what it is.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to do a one-on-one.
No, he's not going to be able
Nakamura
to.
was the last straw.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Man.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
What a one-on-one that is.
I mean, yeah.
It was cool.
It'll work. I mean, it works itself out. It's good stuff. I'm happy he's finally going off into the sunset, his way out, as any wrestler would want to go. While wearing their boots, as they say. That's also how cowboys want to go out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
40-year career, man. Who can really say that?
When you made history with Sting in the '80s, and you're still going in 2023, goddamn,
and going well, mind you.
DC says it perfectly. So. I got to bring this up because we had already talked about it a little bit, but we realized he's still got a year on his contract. What's up with Jay White? What are we doing with Jay White? I mean, it's the Great Okada. You know what I mean? You can't call him the Great Okada. The Great Okada. You know what I mean? So he's undeniable. But then again, there is the reality that Antonio Inoki did pass away. Not saying Jay White's not a great champion, but in memory,
modern day Inoki.
Yeah,
Okada just represents everything New Japan is, and the show was a tribute to.
Very well said.
That's why he won. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the only reason he won. It was a tribute, and he's everything that New Japan Pro Wrestling is. He's the future, he's the present, and he was the previous.
This generation's
10+ years.
I mean, realistically. If Okada winning was a surprise to you, you don't watch.
This is your first Wrestle Kingdom.
In New Japan, yeah, you definitely don't watch New Japan. I could have saw that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
but really being 4-1 to Jay White. I mean, time to start evening up the odds.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Jay lives here. He lives in Florida, so maybe it is time.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
time
for that
stay with New Japan,
bro.
Yeah. If I was White, I would stay with New Japan. I think his appearance on AEW, I don't think garnered as much attention as he thought he was going to get.
He got overshadowed by Okada.
My take on that. So I think staying in Japan, being that that villain character on that end, the Gaijin style. I think it's just a good fit for him.
I mean, in his promo, there was kind of I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but there's some character development there. He's kind of going through this, I couldn't do it. Woe is me. What's next? Yada yada yada. So, I mean, it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's one of those things where I've been a Jay White, I guess, follower, supporter, whatever you want to say, since his days in Ring of Honor when he was a heck of a lot smaller. And all he would do is, every time I'd hear anything, all you hear is, Kiwi Crusher. It was like, okay, goddamn, can you go away, Jay White? You're annoying me. But, I mean, he's developed. I'm with Harold. He's one of those guys where for some reason, you're just not gonna be able to transition to the States as easily as you would like. For crying out loud, you got overshadowed by Okada's first appearance in America outside of a New Japan show. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you were on TV for a while, bud. You know what I mean? You were hanging out with with Adam Cole and all this other shit. And it's with the Bucks, and it's you're just there. Oh,
little Impact run.
I'm
little Impact.
Kind of make this kind of prediction here. Jay White honestly probably will stay in Japan. However, if I'm him, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to leverage interest from, say, WWE, because there's interest there.
There's always interest.
Is he going to get the money he wants? Probably not. However,
especially with Regal back.
Do I think he's going to play, one against the other? Absolutely. It's a smart move. But here's the thing. Does he do it to the extent that maybe Japan says, okay, go?
And maybe it's kayfabe, but he's a very big proponent of wanting to deunify the titles and bring back the IWGP IC title.
Please, that'd be nice.
I'm for that.
That would be a cool move for him now.
Absolutely same.
Can we get the V4 title back though, please?
Yes, please.
I'm so fucking sick and tired of that.
I hate to say it's already grown on me.
Not really feeling that title.
It's grown on me.
It still looks like shit.
It does look like shit.
Like terrible. That and the new TV title. Shit. The women's title looks good. TV title, V4 title, or V5.
I don't think we covered that match, but Ren Narita and Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh yeah,
Sabre Jr.
That was.
I said from the jump that it has to be a young guy, and look what happened. Fucking Zack.
I mean,
with his blonde hair.
I was pulling for Ren, little Shibata looking self.
Just not as strong. Poor bastard.
I got to make this one comment on the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Y'all know I'm a belt guy. I like my belts.
Oh yeah,
I do. I love them. I look at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and it reminds me of the WWE Divas title.
Oh, no.
That main plate. Wrestling title, not bad. The side plates look good. But how do you go from the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, which is arguably one of the most beautiful designs in the history of championships?
Yep.
How do you go from that to... How? Why?
The version 4 title is the best title ever. I would say the gold is second up.
It was Dick Togo. He's the Pat Buck of New Japan.
Bastard.
And
Togo.
I know the guy that made it, that designed it.
Isn't his name Dan also?
Yes, it is actually. He's actually made a couple of belts for AEW. He made the TNT title, the one that Miro had.
Didn't he just do the IWGP Women's title?
Yeah, he did that too. He
title.
Trying to remember. I think he did the NWA National one, that big
the
fucking red thing.
Yeah.
He did that. He's done a couple others.
It was good work.
There you go.
I mean, some people really like it, but
for the most part,
for me, it's grown on me, but it is what it is. I would love for it to revamp into the old style, but again, what's the old saying? Beggars can't be choosers.
It works for some guys.
Yeah, so exactly. It works for some. So
get a new belt. Get a new belt for Zach.
Come on, get a new belt for Zach. So I want to
trending hashtag.
That's right. Goddamn it! Before we send this off and hit the plug land really quick. Is there anybody from New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom randomly going to show up in LA? And if so, in your opinion, who do you think shows up?
It's not going to be Okada.
Besides Mercedes.
You know what, DC? You're just mean. Okay.
Hear me out, y'all.
You let my hopes up. You let my hopes is all the way down here.
There was a story about Okada's wife expecting their first child, and I guess it's like any time now. Or I don't know.
I could have sworn that had been happened. That's why.
That's just sure.
Yeah, it had been happened.
That was a year ago.
But still, I don't see it. Jay White possibly.
Yeah, that means a lot more likely.
But I don't see Okada being in LA. I don't see it.
Could Ospreay cost the Elite the ladder match?
That's what I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say. Billiam Ospreay should be in LA next week.
Guy.
Maybe?
Yes, that would be smart.
Oh, Lord, crazy. Okay, I mean, DC has dashed my hopes. I'm just hoping for Okada, but I mean, anybody shows up, I'll pop a little bit.
I don't
maybe
think
it's Phil. I think maybe Phil shows up and costs the Elite.
There's no reason for Okada to show up, I don't think.
Yeah.
He knows I'll be there. That's why.
Okada's already said I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in Japan for a bit. So
as he should, like Kyle had mentioned, he is this generation's Inoki.
Funny, and he's a safe bet for Japan. He's a safe bet for New Japan.
He honestly, in my opinion, he'd be the safe bet for anybody to know you're 1,000% so. He's safe bet.
Oh, yeah.
for Japan. So, speaking of Japan, that is it. We have gone through the majority of this card. I mean, we did leave some stuff out, but for the most part of it, we hit pretty much everything that was impactful. I know we talked about the Mercedes thing, and we're hoping for the best. I know it was a lackluster, but we're hoping for the best. Leave Kenny alone. It's the right fucking move, and you'll be thanking us in a month. And if you don't like Okada, you don't like wrestling. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, before we get out of here, time to drop some plugs on him. Kyle, what's the project like? Are you really going to wait to get $900 worth of equipment, or are you just going to keep showing your dang pretty face on here?
Donuts.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not me. It's not that. Yeah, I got it. I mean, the microphone's like that's the most important. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
that's not $900. It's like $250, which isn't bad.
I bet you money I can find you a cheaper one. That's just as good.
No, you can't. I'm really behind Shure mics. They're like the best mics in the game.
He's sure about his Shure.
He's sure about the Shure mics, but he's unsure of who his co-host is. About to say,
we'll break my diet for some freaking donuts.
TSK Glaze.
I guess.
Let's go.
I guess I'm dropping 2 plugs. Plug number 1, I run a mini donut food truck in Nebraska called Sweet Treats Mini Donuts. Follow us on socials at Sweet Treat Minis. And then second plug, we're going to be doing a podcast called Super Kicks and Flips Podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Wrestling. Soon.
There we go.
That's 2 plugs.
It's dropping soon. When he drops it, you'll know about it because the first episode will be brought to you by Max motherfucking Wrestling. Rob, what's the haps in the death metal realm?
Just some good old-fashioned death metal music. Go check out Consuming Fire. Instagram, Consuming Fire _638. Grave to Fire _638. Check us out on Spotify, YouTube, all the streaming platforms, iTunes. Give us a listen. Tell me what you think.
Trust me, it's worth the listen. If even you're a little bit into metal, it's worth the listen. Turn it up to that little extra hard one time. But speaking of hard, Harold, I need you, bro. I'm begging you. I need you to hit the Paul's Place. I need an episode for Paul's Place. Tell the people about the two Sweet Quick Adventures.
Paul's Place today.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Paul's Place. But if you like food, if you like entertainment, if you like events in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas, check us out on YouTube. The 2 Sweet Click Adventures. We will whet your appetites.
That's right. Make sure you're going to check the link out in the description. Lastly, DC, the days are counting down for Promo Mania.
And I even have something else to plug that's coming.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm all ears.
As many of y'all know, under the Max Wrestling banner, we have the Throne Zone podcast.
Oh, let's go. It's coming back.
Currently on break for season 2 of House of the Dragon, whenever that decides to come out.
Fuck, come on already.
There is coming.
Blood and cheese.
The Throne Zone TikTok channel.
Allison.
Coming soon.
Oh, God, I can't wait. Again, links for everything in the description. And if you want to see DC anytime sooner, you're going to have to check out Max Wrestling. He pops in anytime he can. Speaking of that, you can catch me on Max Wrestling with my co-host, Dazzy Lee, as we go through the week of professional wrestling, bringing out the smarks of the week, the geek of the week, shit marks say, all kinds of fun fucking segments. We're out here on YouTube /Max Wrestling, which is the exact same place you can catch the TSK whenever we decide to drop more episodes. So with that, we're going to throw out the 2 Sweet to the viewers and to the listeners. You know you can hear it through your ear holes and feel it in your heart. We appreciate you coming back for episode 2. We're coming back with episode 3 when we fucking feel like it, and you know you're going to love it when it happens. 2 Sweet to y'all out there. We love you.
Too sweet.